Hey everyone, hello. This is Manda Stack from mydivineintuition.com. This is my inaugural Facebook Live. So, hello and welcome. I've been excited to come on and talk with you and share a bit about what I've been thinking. And I just want to thank you all for the ways that you are showing up for your families, for the people in your lives, for your clients and customers and neighbors and friends. This has been quite a time, hasn't it? So I just wanted to come on today and share with you from my heart, from my spirit, what wants to come through today. So if you're there, share in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. This is my very first Facebook Live, so I'm giving it a go, and I want to show up more often for you, and really glad to be here with you today. So I wanted to talk a bit about, since this is my first Facebook Live, I wanted to talk about how I came up with the logo for my business. So I based my logo off of a stack of stones, which is called a cairn. And if you've ever been hiking out in the woods, sometimes you see on trails stacks of stones like this. And these are historically, they are path markers, wayfinders, guides for you on your path to let you know that you're on the right path and maybe guide you forward. So as I was thinking about, I started my business, I think about 6 years ago, and the logo I don't think came up until a few years ago when I was really getting serious about building my business and how I wanted to show up and what my work is about. And I thought about these beautiful stacked stones that have always caught my attention, and they're very whimsical, they're beautiful, that someone has placed them there as a guide for other people, for people who are following. So I myself have received lots of beautiful guideposts along my journey through life by way of people, books and resources, coaches, guides who have been there for me. And out of gratitude for the ways that I have been shown and have continued to be led along my path, I want to be that for others. So the cairn, the stack of stones, is my way of showing up. And I remember a time when I went hiking, there was a new trail that I wanted to try out. And from the map, it looked like it was just a really short trail. And so I just, on a whim, I went one afternoon and parked my car in the trailhead parking lot and just started walking and wanted to see where the trail led and what the sights were. And I got a little lost. It was not a clearly marked path. And it kind of dawned on me, I didn't even bring a bottle of water. I didn't bring my cell phone. I assumed that I would find my way. I assumed that it would be an easy trail and I'd make it through the loop and out to my car and on to the next thing on my day. And I got a little turned around. It wasn't just a simple loop. And I remember the feeling, and maybe you can relate to this if you've ever been either hiking or maybe metaphorically, if you've gone, tried to do something that was new for you. I remember the feeling that came over me, which was panic. I knew it wasn't really a big trail. I knew I was fine in the long run, in the big picture, but there I was with no water. It was really hot. It was a really hot, humid day, and the mosquitoes were getting really bad. So it was like fending off the bugs and sweating and feeling this panic rising in my chest. And what have I gotten myself into? I wondered. So what I did when I started feeling off my path and lost is I stopped walking. I took some nice, slow, deep breaths. I reminded myself that I was on a trail, that I would find my way out. And the best way to do that was not in a state of panic, but in a state of calm and trust. And so I said a little prayer and kept walking. And it wasn't too long before I did find a little marker, a little arrow that pointed the way out. So, phew, lo and behold, thank goodness for a mark on my path, a path marker. Found my way out and learned my lesson. And I share that with you today because often in our lives, we do find ourselves kind of turned around, unsure of the path forward, whether it's a job that we are in that no longer fits, or whether we're considering making a job change and we're not sure if that's the right direction, or a relationship, whether we should stay and work on it, or whether the relationship cycle has ended and it's time to move on. All of these choices that are before us. And what is your path marker in times like that? In times when you don't feel so sure, in times when maybe it all kind of comes crashing in on you, and you might feel a little panicky, like, oh, I have to make a decision, or I'm stuck, I'm not safe, I don't know what to do, and you get a little flustered. What to do in those times is to remember that there are guides on the path, that you have access to them, and that often the best way to remember that is to become embodied, and often through simple breath work, often through just taking a simple breath or a few breaths and becoming embodied and calming yourself. And often that's more than enough to just kind of put your head back on straight and your heart and soul get more clarity on what it is that you really want and need. And so the path markers are out there. What are your path markers? Who has shown up in your life at a time when you really needed them? Maybe not even with advice, but maybe just a kind listening ear. And it maybe not even people, but maybe like a big billboard sign with just the right words or image that, oh yeah, that reminds you of who you are and what you're here to do, and guides you along your way. So my message today is those path markers are there, and we are those path markers for one another. How can you be a path marker and guide for someone today in a simple way? So as I'm doing my first Facebook Live here, I just wanted to come on and thank you again for being who you are and showing up how you're showing up in some really difficult times in our world. We can do this. We're in this together. And I'm here for you. My work is all about helping people feel calm, clear, and connected. And one of the ways I do this is through energy clearing sessions, either virtually, by video sessions, or in person. And I recently have started renting a space locally in where I live in Burlington, Wisconsin. So if you live in southeastern Wisconsin and would like some more information or like to book a session with me in person, reach out to me, send me a message. You can contact me through my website as well, or through Facebook message. I'd love to connect with you and see how I can support you in either energy clearing or coaching. And so I invite you to check out my website, mydivineintuition.com. And on my website, there is a free decision-making guide. Decisions are oftentimes that are ripe for us to mark our paths and get clear on where we're going and where we're headed. So you can grab your free decision guide on my website. And if you have a decision facing you, it's a great resource with some different ways to tap into your own inner wisdom and what inner pathways, path markers you have for yourself. So it's great to be here with you today. I'd like to end by inviting you to join me for a brief energy reset. So I invite you to just relax your shoulders, notice your breathing. If you want to close your eyes briefly here, you can. Take a deep breath and see if you can find inside yourself that still, calm center. Where is that? See if you can locate it. Usually it's somewhere in the belly or the heart space. Everyone has it. And just connect with it. Feel into it. It's that quiet, serene, vast center of information and wisdom and grace that's inside of you. So just breathe into that space. And I invite you to know that anytime throughout your day, you can access this. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling anxious or even panicky, you can just tune in and know that that guidance is there. Take another breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and smile. I thank you so much. It was great to be here with you today. Have a great rest of the day. Again, this is Manda Stack from My Divine Intuition, and I will see you later.